how to protect your original content on Instagram. There's a new Instagram setting everyone's freaking out about because it was turned on by default, and it allows anyone to use your public Instagram content as a remix in their own content without your permission, including pictures of you that you've posted, also including using it on Meta's AI tool, so they could create anything they like. So I'm going to show you how to turn it off, and then I'm going to show you some other privacy settings around what people can or can't do in terms of reusing your content that you share on Instagram. Here we are in the Instagram app. We're going to tap on our profile picture in the bottom right-hand corner to navigate to our profile. And in the top, you'll see the three lines. So tap on our three lines, and that takes you back to your settings and activity section in your profile. We're going to scroll down here to the section that says how others can interact with you, and tap on sharing and reuse. So there's a bunch of settings in this section here. So I'm going to go through all these in detail, but first I want to show you that section, the setting that everybody's freaking out about. It's right here. Allow other people to create with and reuse your public Instagram content. So make sure that's toggled off. So you can just tap your finger. There you go. You see that's toggled on. So just tap on the left side, toggle it off. And I do recommend you make sure both of those are off. I would be curious to know, when you check this, were they on by default or were they off by default? Let me know in the comments. Next, I want to show you the rest of those sharing and reuse settings around how others can potentially use your Instagram content. But first, a quick word about privacy. If you would not want your content to be seen publicly ever, do not share it on social media, period. It is easy for people to snatch your content without your permission by taking a screenshot with their phone or taking a screen recording of your video with their phone, and they can have that content on their phone to keep. Even if you have a private Instagram account, if you allow other people to follow you, someone could potentially take a screenshot of your content. There's also a loophole in Instagram, depending on your settings, that could allow someone to share your content to their stories and then download it to their phone as well. So we'll see if Instagram closes that loophole, but I'm going to show you that as well so you're aware of it and you can make your own choice about how you adjust your privacy settings. Here's the Instagram story sharing loophole. Here's a lovely video in my feed. All I have to do is click share in the bottom and add to my story in the bottom left. And sometimes it will appear like this, but you can also tap your finger and it will show full screen. In the right-hand side, tap the drop down, and there is the download function. Voila, I can now download your video to my phone and keep it forever. And I don't even have to actually share it to my stories. Once it's saved to my camera roll, I can click the X in the top left-hand corner, and now I have your content on my phone. I can also scroll up to stories here. Let's look for something in the feed. Let's see here. I'm going to tap on my friend Kim. Here's something she shared. I can hit the share function in the bottom right and add it to my story. And same thing if I want to tap my finger on it to show it full screen, and hit the drop down in the right, and then the download function. And voila, I have now saved that content to my phone without even sharing it to my stories, and I can click the X in the top left-hand corner to escape. Now back to that other setting. Let's go back to our profile, bottom right-hand corner, tap the three lines in the top right-hand corner. We're going to scroll down to the how others can interact with you section and back into sharing and reuse. So let's start at the top of this section. Do you want to allow other people to share your 24-hour stories? As I just showed you, you can allow others to share your content, but they also can easily snatch your content if they want to. So that's really up to you. You can see there's also another option just below that, that if you do want to allow people to share your stories, you could say followers you follow back, if that makes you feel more comfortable. There's pros and cons, because if you allow sharing, you can potentially get shares. If you don't allow sharing, then you're going to get less visibility, but you have more control of your content. Okay, so you can see I do have this turned on, and I do have everyone. That's just my personal choice on this account. This is my business account, and I mainly share tutorials, tips, social media advice, so nothing I would worry about being seen publicly. As we scroll down here, allow people to share your posts and reels. So again, if you're a business, you may want to have these settings turned on. If you're using this for account for your private use, you may want to have these functions turned off, because I showed you how easy it is for people to snatch your content. So you can toggle these off if you wish. Again, I have a business account. I want to get the word out about my business. I want people to be able to share. So I'm going to keep these functions turned on. So I'm allowing people to share my posts, my Instagram posts, and my reels to their 24-hour stories, and I'm allowing reposts of my posts and reels. So the repost is a fairly new function, and that puts a separate tab on someone's account that reposts your content. And we've already covered this next one here. I'm going to scroll down a little bit more. Allow people to create with and reuse your original audio on Meta AI. We're going to keep that turned off. The next one, allow people to share externally. Do you want to allow people to download your content? No. So we do have this turned off. Again, there is that loophole, so they could potentially do it. And then this one down here, this is a nice update that they didn't always have, which is website embeds. So you might know, or you may not be aware, that all social media posts that are public can potentially be embedded in an external website. So if you do not want your content, say you're a professional photographer and you do not want your content embedded on someone else's website, then you're going to want to turn this off. So it's nice that they've got that choice for us now, because they didn't always. And many of the social channels still do not have a choice about where your content, whether or not your content gets embedded on another website. And the last one is relating to more like allowing other businesses to use your content. So if you are someone who is creating content and you want to have like user generated content and you want to help sell products, maybe you want to earn affiliate commissions, or you want to work with businesses to get your posts sponsored to make some money, then this is a new feature where you can turn this on and people can potentially discover your content. I do not want that. I have that turned off. With all of the backlash that Meta received from this new feature, they claim they're going to be removing it. I do still recommend that you check all of these privacy settings in your Instagram account. That was a lot of information. I'm Julie Selby with Sandy Social Marketing Training, and I hope it was helpful. Thanks so much for watching.